It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got a duel in the Lone Star State. It's the Black Knights and the Texans, next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with their opponents. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at our visitors coming into play here. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Here's Carter now on the return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. The CD, you know, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come, and keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Well, this defense for the Texans, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver route.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And the Texans are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Out comes Deshaun Watson, ready to captain the ship here for this Houston offense.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run. But I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run. One that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Throwing on third down, Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw to Chenault on the slant. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The numbers a week ago for Chenault. 5 catches, 53 yards.
When you turn in good, consistent performances each and every week, you will rank in the top 10 in the league in receiving yards. And he's number 7 currently, hoping to move up as time goes on.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he's got Chenault. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Noah Fant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Black Knights have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Now the try here for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find it.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. K'Lavon Chaisson in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Third and long. It's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. London about set to take over on offense. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And his throw here's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And that's complete ETN out of the backfield. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans 30.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. They'll look to throw here. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Completes it to Fant on the right side. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Houston's offense taking over again. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now it's Watson. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Throwing again is Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. Now the ball comes loose, and the Texans scoop it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
This is really, really difficult.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football. Our ball, baby!
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Going right back to Fant. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Noah Fant in the final seconds of the first half. And the Black Knights will extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. Kick is away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now.
Let's go, baby.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Trevor Lawrence, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. From there, let's get over to the Rockies and check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Javonte Williams, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Trey Sermon with a touchdown run. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for our visitors in the first half. And their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out to this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come. These two clubs running through their final halftime adjustments. It's just about time to get back at it. And for the call of the second half, we go back out to Houston, H-Town, and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Here's Bradley Pena now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return.
Let's go.
And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
He's picked off near his own 48. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
2nd down at 4.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
This is the tight end Fant.
And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans 16. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Noah Fant with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Black Knights are able to extend their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. So that drive spanned 5 plays. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded right around the 8. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Come on, boys, let's go. Let's go. Come on now.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. The Texans on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory and as an offense. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Taking it in from the 20. And the Black Knights add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And now out comes Houston. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Now a throw here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 10, Watson. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And as a result, possession switches hands. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And oh, he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now it looks like he'll throw here to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. K'Lavon Chaisson in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson, and he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Bradley Pena now, standing just about on his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 37 yards on the punt with no return.
Let's go.
London about set to take over on offense. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And they take a knee. And they will take a knee here. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for our visitors, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers.